I wince, trying to block out the screams. In some stroke of terrible luck, my flight is half populated by little brats, the kind whose parents ignore them and make no attempt at discipline. The seatbelt signs are off, and I need the bathroom, so perhaps a toilet can offer a brief respite. As I head towards the back of the cabin, a plump, red-faced slob trudges out from the toilet. Great. Maybe his miasmic aftermath will choke me to death. That would spare me from being gargled and screamed at for the next 2 hours. I turn the lock, unbuckle my belt, and plop down onto the uncomfortably warm seat. This one's going to be a cement block, I can tell. A real Elvis killer. After a few minutes of straining, I notice something's changed. The idle chit-chat and immature squeals have dissipated. In place, there's this uniform sound of amazement. That's what I'd call it. Subdued gasps of wonder. God, that fat oaf really blew up this toilet. It smells worse now. Coppery and acrid like piss. Did he vomit in here too? The fuck? I only realise the source of the stench after sensing my toes getting soggy. Looking down, I pull my feet up in horror. A murky concoction of reds and browns leaks under the door. My nagging sphincter goes quiet. I pull my pants up and reach for the lock. Before I can slide the bolt, a series of deafening bangs ring out from the cabin. Panic overtakes me as I lunge for the bolt, managing to unlatch it and kick open the door. Like a dam bursting, the toilet's flooded. It's up to my knees. God, the smell is so much worse now. Before another thought, the plane jerks and I'm thrown forward into the opposite wall. I manage to keep balance and wade over to the end of the aisle. I'm simultaneously confused, dumbstruck, and horrified. Most of the passengers are missing, the few that remain half into oxygen masks. A long row of bright spots glide across the ceiling, left to right, so intense they leave stains in my retinas. I can't see what the light's coming from, but it's obvious where it's bleeding through. Every window on the cabin's left side is broken. The air's thinning. Past the black dots invading my sight, I can make out something caught on the jagged remnants of the windows. Fluttering, torn strips, varying shades of beige, brown and white. They're all drained pink underneath. It reminds me of raw chicken, only not a micron of blood leaks from them. Realising I'd been standing for far too long, I lurch towards the nearest oxygen mask. My sense of balance is gone, and my fingers graze a mask as my leg is caught on an armrest. I can't see. It's dark. It's cold. I collapse to the floor, into a warm and sticky embrace. It's still dark, but at least I'm not cold anymore. Anything is possible if you try hard enough. I used to get positive connotations from that mantra. Realistically, it's total bull. Yes, it's not meant to be literal. A man can't jump between the earth and the moon, or deadlift a skyscraper. But when it comes to something as menial as this, the saying loses all credence. You see, I have a wooden box, engraved patterns, gold accents, a real work of art. Someone gave it to me when I was a child. Grandma, maybe. It's foggy. I've never actually used it for anything, didn't want to ruin the craftsmanship. Then, it started getting dirty. I don't mean it gathered dust. It had this sticky brown residue that built up on the inside. It didn't immediately strike me as a source for major concern. Nevertheless, I cleaned it up, good as new. But it kept happening. No clear pattern. Some mornings it'd be spotless, others filthy. Recently, I've been finding it sludge-crusted in the morning more often than not. The tide of paranoia laps at my ankles. Got to the point of investing in a couple of ring doorbells, set up at my front and back doors. I made a routine of checking every window lock before bed. If I could catch the grimy critter spreading its muck into my box, I'd do anything necessary. Somewhere in the depths of my mind, I knew it was no animal. Only 3 days later, I woke to the morning light, checked my phone, and froze. 12:01 a.m. Motion detected. Back door. 5:18 a.m. Motion detected. Back door. An incipient panic attack brewing. I unlocked my phone and opened the app. What I saw on the recordings sent a terrible chill shooting through my nerves. At 12:01, my back door opened and this thing stepped out onto the deck. Something dark, fleshy excrescences glinting in the cloud-choked moonlight. Sharp spurs sliding out from meaty pits. I couldn't tell how many legs it used to scuttle across my lawn and into the woods. That's not even the worst part, because at 5:18, the camera caught it slinking back out of the woods and onto my porch before entering through the back door and shutting it, which meant, with shaky fingers, I combed up and down through all the notifications. I must have missed a third from Ring, or mixed up the two I saw. But no. What I'd feared after seeing both recordings was the case. Paralysing terror bound my limbs tight, ensconced in an abstract membrane that may as well have been cut diamond. I'm still on my bed, unmoving. The box's auric accents glitter under the midday moonlight. Even from my position, it's glaringly obvious to see the thin streaks of milky, gore-mottled fluid running from under the lid. Whether through concrete instinct or gut feeling, I'm about 99% sure that here in this house, right now, I am not alone.